Welcome back to Tales and Craft. Today we're reading from the Am I the A-Hole subreddit. This is episode 14, and I hope you guys enjoy this subreddit and these stories that I'm going to read to you today. Anyway, let's get right into it. Let's get right into the first story. Am I the a-hole for embarrassing my roommate by using a guy next door's bathroom? Okay, so we got some roommate drama here. This one is almost always between girls or girls and guys, so we're going to see who is involved in this drama. I live in a student dorm. It's two of us in a dorm, me and my roommate. Let's name her Lisa. And Lisa loves our bathroom. Once she goes inside, she spends a lot of time doing whatever. This happens every day, multiple times, each time ranging from 30 to 90 minutes. Wow. That's a really long time to be in the bathroom. Like, I understand having like a long shower in the morning or the evening, but being in there multiple times a day for that long, I mean, I'm not a girl, so I don't understand if there's something that could be going on in there that would take that long, but I think that's a huge waste of time to be in your bathroom for that long. As far as I know, it's because she's usually smoking. It's allowed to smoke indoors where I live, watching some reality show or popping her face in parallel with all the basic bathroom stuff. When she comes out, she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I do this. I'm crazy." And then next time she does it again. I stopped asking her to cut this off whatsoever because she just forgets about it or simply doesn't care. I don't think it's like a forgetful thing. I can almost guarantee she just does not care about the other people living in her space. Like, I know there's a lot of people like this that just have no social awareness. They do not care about the people they live with and they just do whatever they want. So a couple of days ago, Lisa went to the bathroom and I just had 3 cups of tea. Of course, at some point, maybe half an hour later, I wanted to go pee. I thought to myself, well, maybe it's one of the quick times and she will leave the bathroom soon. No. Another 15 minutes go past. Still, she is inside. I knock on the door and ask, "Hey, how much time do you need there?" She says, 15 more minutes. I say, "Bro, I'm about to pee myself. Please hurry up." And Lisa answers, "I'm so sorry, I will." Wow, so yeah, if someone needs to use the bathroom other than like number 1 or number 2, then they should just like step out for a minute, let the other person go, and then they can go back to doing whatever they're doing, right? Because that's the only time where you urgently need to go is when you need to relieve yourself, right? So saying 15 more minutes, that's just rude and disrespectful to your roommates. Another 30 minutes go past. I genuinely feel awful. My stomach hurts badly and I feel like I'm actually about to pee myself each more minute. I knock on the door once again. 15 more minutes, please. Wow, so from the initial time she knocked in the bathroom, it was 15 minutes. Or from the initial time she needed to go to the bathroom, it was 15 minutes. And then after that initial 15 minutes, she knocks on the door and her roommate says 15 more minutes. But instead of waiting 15 minutes, she waits 30 minutes and then knocks again and she says another 15 minutes. So it's been 45 minutes since she initially needed to go pee and she's saying 15 more minutes more, an hour longer. That's crazy. That's when I legitimately thought to myself that if I can't wait another 15 minutes because I'm definitely wetting my pants soon and probably dying of embarrassment right afterwards, my fight or flight mode kicks in and I choose to flight. I run out of the room, knock on our neighbor's door, who is Lisa's classmate, and also my friend, and ask if I can use his bathroom because Lisa has been in ours for an hour and a half now. He laughs about it and lets me in. It's a good thing that she had other options as well to go and use another bathroom. I know for my situation in university, the bathrooms were like communal, so they weren't in our rooms. We had to go out and then into the bathroom. So that way you have to deal with more people. Sometimes it gets annoying, but people are not staying in there that long because you don't have all your stuff there. It's not that comfortable, right? The next day when Lisa came home from uni, she looked super irritated by something. When I asked her what had happened, she said nothing. 15 minutes later, I asked her again because I couldn't ignore her mad face. And she says, "Why would you embarrass me like that with the bathroom thing? Now everyone is laughing like, what are you doing in there for so long? Okay, she 100% deserves this kind of embarrassment for treating her roommate like this. Now, I doubt that she's going to change at all. This is probably a habit that she's built over her whole life. And she's in university right now. She's probably 18, 19, 20. So it's going to be hard to break that habit. But if she can do it, that would be much better for her and anyone else she lives with in the future. Maybe I really did mess up. I mean, I could just not mention for how long she was there. I felt like I should have explained why I was knocking at someone else's door to go pee, but I was frustrated and wanted to share my frustration. So maybe that's why I came out like that. I mean, I felt super embarrassed myself because I had to go to another guy's room to pee and my stomach was hurting as hell. That's why I'm not sure if it was my mess up or hers, maybe both. 100% her mess up. Like, she knows she's in the wrong because every time she does it, she says, oh, oopsie, like, my bad, I did the wrong thing. So she knows she has to change, but she hasn't pushed herself to do that. So maybe this embarrassment from other people in her class is going to push her towards changing for the better. Anyway, I wanted to say, side note, holding your pee for a long time is really, really bad for you. Like, it can cause a lot more damage than having some small embarrassment by using another bathroom. So you never want to hold your pee for a long time. You always want to be able to go and relieve yourself. So what do you think? Am I the a-hole? Edit. Just thought I'd clarify before the conversation starts. She didn't tell me before going to the bathroom that she was going to use it. It would be easier if she did. Edit 2. I'm not 100% sure she's not on any drugs or doing sex work in the bathroom. Personally, I think that she's taken so much time because of her way to get some personal space since we share a bedroom. Relax and avoid whatever responsibilities she currently has, be it chores, homework, or whatever. It's also possible that there are mental issues that make her act like that, since there are other signs of those, but I'm not a doctor to make clinical claims. To answer the question, is she the a-hole? No, I do not think she's the a-hole. Her roommate is the a-hole for acting like that, and to figure out why she is like that, honestly, I think it's because she grew up like that in a household that would allow her to spend that much time in the bathroom, because most rational parents wouldn't allow that, right? They wouldn't allow their kid to stay in the bathroom by themselves for so long. Like, it could be dangerous. Like, imagine you're taking a bath and you fall asleep. If no one is checking in on you or lets you stay in that long, you could easily die in there. So I think it's something that like a habit that she picked up while growing up, and now it's passed on into her university life. So it is not a good thing. Someone says, oh hell no, not the a-hole. So assuming no ill intent, it seems like your roommate is using the bathroom for privacy and break from simulation, or maybe has an undisclosed medical condition, but her needs do not outweigh yours, and she definitely doesn't get to double down and expect you to pee yourself and keep it a secret while she hangs out in the bathroom for reasons unknown. You spoke up twice, she's being unreasonable. Exactly. And that's also like a shared space. Like, they share the room, they share the bathroom. You can't just hog all the bathroom to yourself, right? That's totally unreasonable. Anyway, let's get into the next story then. Am I the a-hole for joking that my dad gets a perpetual period in front of my friends and family? I, 19 female, was at a family dinner with my dad, my younger sister, my older sister who was visiting, and one of my dad's friends, along with his wife and son. At one point, my dad started joking with his friend about how lucky he was to have a son because living with women is apparently so difficult. Even though both me and my older sister already moved out from college and work and are barely home now. He started making comments about how women get moody, miserable on their periods, and how the whole house atmosphere changes. He was saying it in a joking tone, not screaming or anything, but he says this kind of stuff pretty often. His friend then said he thanks the Lord every day for that. That's not a nice thing to say around your family, especially your wife and your daughters. You have multiple daughters. It's just something to be expected. They have to deal with in women's hygiene. If you have a family, if you're a man in the house, that it's just something you got to deal with, right? There's nothing wrong or weird with it. So I replied in basically the same joking tone that honestly, if he had a son exactly like him, it would probably be worse because he's moody and irritable all the time already, so it's like he's permanently on his period. Oh wow, that's a good thing to say too. His friend laughed immediately and his wife laughed too. Then his wife joked, "Oh, don't laugh, you are like that too." Oh my gosh. So initially, the dad and his friend were laughing at the daughter's expense, right? At the wife and daughter's expense. But now everybody's laughing at the dad and his friend's expense, that they're both on their perpetual period. I also pointed out that I honestly don't even think what he said is true. I do sports while on my period. My sister are both pretty chill too. And most of the time, when there was tension at home, it was usually him starting an argument and then blaming it on women's hormones if we reacted badly. Wow, so he does sound like a problem starter in the family. Anyway, after dinner, my dad told me I embarrassed and insulted him in front of his friend. He said it was rude and disrespectful to compare a man to having a period. He also said his friend group takes pride in being masculine slash manly, and I made him look weak. Wow, so that is like the worst type of guy, is the alpha male. Like everything's supposed to be manly, everything's supposed to be masculine. You can't show any weakness. Like, so it's funny that he's in this like masculine slash manly friend group. I honestly thought we were all joking around equally. And if he can make jokes about women being impossible because of periods, then I don't see why I can't joke back about him acting moody too. So, to answer the question, is she the a-hole? I do not think so. Like, that is totally fine to talk like that. Like, it was a joking mood, and if he can't dish it out, if he can dish it out but can't take it back, then he is exactly the type of person that she is talking about him being moody, not being able to handle getting criticized on his masculinity. So definitely not the a-hole. Someone said, not the a-hole. So it's okay for him to insult you and your sister, though. If he can't take it, then he shouldn't dish it out. That's exactly what I was saying. Like, it goes both ways, joking and playing, insulting each other. Like, if you cannot take it, then you should not be saying what you're saying, right? Anyway, that was a pretty good story. It was a little bit short, but it was sweet. So let's get into the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter I am disgusted by her and telling her ex she has been taking their kids to his family's side? My daughter and Ryan, her ex, are 26 now. When they were both 18, my daughter got pregnant. They got an apartment together and started to raise their little family. They never got married, but Ryan's family pressured them to do it often. Multiple times I heard them say those two need to stop living in sin. Okay, so we're dealing with like a religious, very religious side of his family here. The issue was a year ago when Ryan was caught cheating and he is gay. The breakup was extremely messy, and in the end, the custody was 50-50. Ryan's family is really religious, and when it came out they were breaking, they were pissed. When they learned Ryan was gay, they disowned him. I was at my daughter's place helping her move when I heard Ryan's mother calling him a F word, like the derogatory term for gay people or gay men. So his family is really shitty people. After he was disowned for some reason, they thought he would give them access to the grandbaby. He basically told them to shove it. I know about this because they contacted me once to let them see the kid while I was babysitting. I told them no. 50-50 has been a bit rough for my daughter. It is hard for her not to have the kid for major events, especially Ryan had custody of the grandbaby during Easter, but he agreed to let my daughter have him that day so they can celebrate with my side of the family. So if Easter is also important for the daughter's side of the family, I'm guessing everybody is religious here, but the daughter's side, or the OP, they must be a little more lenient with what is going on, which is better for the whole situation, because you don't want to you still want to be able to somewhat raise the daughter of a split, like of a divorce marriage or divorce. So if you can make that as smooth as possible for the daughter and like not think about yourselves, not be selfish and think just about the daughter, that's the best thing you can do. My daughter was over to pick up some stuff and she showed me pictures from her latest weekend trip. In the picture, there was Ryan's mom and his two siblings. Oh no. I asked what this was about, and she told me that she has been taking the kids to see them for a few months now. I asked if Ryan knew. I thought they got back in contact, and she told me no. I told her that it was horrible to do, that they are bigots and disown their kid. She got defensive and it went into an argument. She defended taking her kids around a homophobe, and I told her I was disgusted by what she was doing. Damn, so the daughter went around everybody else and took them to the family. So who knows what kind of stuff they could be doing with the kid, what kind of ideals they could be instilling on that kid. But when that kid gets older and starts comprehending more things, then that could be a really bad thing for the dad and for Ryan. They could easily try to mold and turn the daughter around and towards hating her dad, right? I informed Ryan, he thanked me, and now my daughter's super pissed. Ryan apparently is refusing to be lenient anymore with custody. So more getting the kid is not on her day, even if my daughter wanted them for some event. That is the best thing to do. And if this Ryan can go back into the court and show this, the daughter's mom is going around everybody else to take him to the family when Ryan explicitly says no, then he can most likely get more custody of the kid as well. Is he the a-hole? Is she the a-hole for telling the father that this is happening? I don't think so at all, especially after all they did to the father. They disowned him, they swore to him, they called him all sorts of things, and they hate him. They probably don't talk to him. And that is the right thing to do. Doing stuff like this behind someone's back is not okay, even if the family weren't homophobic. You did the right thing. Exactly. So even if you remove all the extra stuff that they did, if you're divorced and you have 50-50 custody and you're not in a good relationship with your parents, then your ex-partner should not be going around your back. Like, that's just morally wrong. That is not something that normal human beings should be doing. That was a short story, and so far all of them have been not the a-hole. The other people in the stories have been the a-holes. Let's get into the next one then. Am I the a-hole for selling something I got for free? I think this is something that definitely has happened to people that buy and sell things, and not even necessarily for free, but if you got like a really good deal on something, maybe you got something from a family member for really cheap because you're related, and then you use it and then you go around and sell it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You can do whatever you want with the things you own. A few weeks back, I, 44 male, won a car in one of them supermarket giveaways. Okay, so I already know where this is going, and selling a car that you get from a giveaway or one of those ticket raffle things is probably one of the best things you can do, especially if it's like a high-end car, a supercar, because first of all, you're gonna have to pay taxes on a vehicle that you win. And that can be a lot of money, especially if you're not prepared for that. And then you have to pay for maintenance and fuel costs, insurance. So a lot of people can't really afford that. Maybe you can drive it around a little bit for, who knows, maybe a month, a year. And the costs, it's a lot of extra cost of ownership of having a car, a brand new car, or even like a lot of extra costs having a supercar, or even just like a regular new car if you don't already have those costs of car ownership. So getting it and then selling it right away, it's a good way to just get extra money that you can put towards investments, put towards bills that you have, or use it in a more intelligent way than just buying a brand new vehicle or having a brand new vehicle. There are various reasons I don't want to keep it. I spend a significant portion of the year traveling between 2 continents. I don't have a garage to keep it in when I'm in my home country, and perhaps most importantly, the car has a manual transmission and I am bad enough driver on an automatic. I could, however, use a couple €1,000 extra, so I decided to sell it. Exactly. So there's multiple reasons why you might not need a new car, and in this case, it's because he's traveling a lot and he just does not need a vehicle, and he does not have somewhere to store it or even drive it properly or use it how it's meant to be. Friends of mine, a married couple I will call Laura, 36F, and Patrick, 38M, are in the market for a new car. So I turned to them first. The ticket price of the car is €20,000. I needed to pay taxes on the winnings of some 4K, so I offered it to them for $14,000. Okay, exactly. So, like I said before, you have to pay taxes on a new car that you win. Even if it was won in a raffle, it was given to you as a gift, you have to pay taxes on it. And sometimes it can be a lot of money. So instead of spending 4K to buy this car, he's going to sell it, pay those taxes that he had to pay, and then walk away with a profit. They save 6K, which means they don't need to take out a partial loan as they were planning. I end up with 10K, everybody wins. Laura and Patrick very happily accepted, and we should have all the paperwork done out next week. I was hanging out with Laura and Patrick last weekend signing the paperwork. At one point, another friend of theirs, let's call him Jake, 34 male, showed up. I don't talk to him. Why is a long story. One of the reasons is that he is a know-it-all asshole who is just incapable of keeping out of other people's business. And sure enough, when Jake found out what was going on, he felt the need to offer his opinion, which amounted to accusing me of taking advantage of Laura and Patrick and arguing that if I were a real friend, I would just give them the car. Laura, who doesn't like Jake either, but is the sweetest person ever, so does not let it show, politely shuts him down, and he thankfully left shortly after. Laura then apologized and told me that she thought what Jake had said was stupid, but that surprisingly to both of us, some other friends of hers think the same. Wow. So if you won something in a raffle like that, it's luck. Like you won it out of luck, and that luck is to you. So if you're really well off, yeah, okay, maybe you can give away a car to a close friend of yours that is looking for a car. But it is equally nice to give away something for a huge discount that you personally won. So giving them $6,000 off the car is really a really nice thing to do. It's honestly as nice as giving away a free car. That is not going to happen anywhere else. Like you're never going to get 6K off a brand new car. Anyone who thinks this is not the right thing to do is like way too entitled to get free stuff, right? Like you should never think like that. Like, oh, I could always get more. I could get more free. You should be gracious and accept like this great deal that they're giving you, right? Because who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to get 6K off a brand new car? And then yesterday I met up with Alex, 39 male, a mutual friend of mine and Laura's. Laura, him and me work in the same office for a couple of years. And while I left for greener pastures a long time ago, they and some other mutual friends still work there. Alex told me with some amusement that the entire thing with the car had been the subject of much gossip at the office. According to what he told me, some people are basically taking Jake's side and calling why I did exploitative and taking advantage of Laura's situation. So I'm charging them money for something that cost me nothing. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for selling something I got for free? Absolutely not. Like if this blows out of proportion and gets more complicated, I would just cancel the whole transaction with Laura and just go somewhere else. Go to a dealer even and sell the car for probably more than the discount that they were giving Laura and her husband just to get the whole situation out of there and not have to deal with the repercussions of having people talk behind your back. But that is just human nature. There's people who just love the gossip. They love to pick sides. So, and there's people like the other friend that nobody really likes that just instigate this kind of thing because it's just greed, right? Like he's doing a really nice thing by giving them a discount, and he's also still keeping some of the luck that he got from winning the car in a raffle. So he gets to use that money exactly how he wants to do it. His friends get to have a car for much less than they would have paid anywhere else. And everybody's happy. The only people that aren't happy are the people that are not involved with this situation at all. So who cares about them, right? Not the a-hole. This is an absolutely bizarre take. It's nobody's business whether you won the car, bought it, or inherited it. It was yours to keep or sell. Exactly. And then someone else commented that. This is why you don't tell people nothing. Should have just sold it to a car dealer. They'd take it for slightly cheaper with no miles. Exactly. You got to just keep things to yourself, especially when you're doing something that will make other people jealous and not benefit them. If you wanted to keep it quiet, you should have just kept it between you and the couple, and that was it. Should have been no discussion. Nobody should have known you won the car, and people should have just assumed they just bought new, paid full price for a new car. Not the a-hole. You could have sold it to strangers for a higher amount. Instead, you sold it to a friend at basically half the cost, so you're losing money in this transaction. I think what you're doing is great. All the people who said you should give away for free or act like that's what they would do, but in reality, they would have never done that. They're acting like the holy person because they're not in the situation. I guarantee if they were, they would have sold it to their friend for full price or even higher. Don't think about what they said. You're good. Exactly. So People are always so generous when it comes to giving away other people's things. So when it comes to themselves, they will they will do the exact same thing, if not worse than the OP in this story. So I would never blame this person, never call this person the a-hole. They're doing a really nice thing. That's the end of it. Like, there's nothing else to add. Anyway, I hope you like these stories. Am I the A-hole is probably one of the most popular subreddits on Reddit, so I always like reading these stories. If you want me to read from different subreddits, put it down in the comments. If you have specific stories you want me to read, also put that down in the comments. I'd be happy to read whatever you guys want me to. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.